everyone. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it looks like some people are jumping on. I am streaming from multiple platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I am on Periscope. So come on in, everyone. Hello, hello. Hey, cuz. Welcome. Hello, hello. Those of you on Facebook, definitely, I would appreciate if you share this out. Share this out. Share this out. I know you have some friends, some followers, some people in your network who will want to hear about this. Those of you on Instagram, I would appreciate if you share this out as well. And same with Periscope. Periscope, you can click the little person in the corner to share this out. We are talking getting to the money this month. Getting to the money this month. April, as some of you know, maybe all of you know, April is National Financial Awareness Month. At least in the states, I don't know if it's that globally, but in the states, National Financial Awareness Month. So you will hear a lot, if you have not already, uh, a lot about financial awareness, investing, building wealth, all things good, all things wealth building and money this month. And so I wanted to jump into that conversation. Hey, Michael. Hello, hello. Hey, is that foot? Okay, I'm not sure. Some of you have interesting usernames, so I don't want to butcher your name. But welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, is that LV? Jessica. Hey, Jessica. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, for those of you who may not know who I am Rachel Wilson Thibodeau. Rachel Wilson Thibodeau. I am an award winning speaker. I'm a business and brand strategist, a digital marketing consultant, and founder of Swag Strategy Solutions. Swag Strategy Solutions, where swag is not just a cool name. No, it is a cool name. Y'all have to admit. It's a cool name, but it's not just a cool name. It is also an acronym in this case that stands for Strategic Women Achieve Growth. Strategic Women Achieve Growth. SWAG. Go-getter, visionary women entrepreneurs, service-based entrepreneurs and businesses and influencers. They look to me when they want to tell their best brand story, when they want to break through, because we're all about breakthrough. So when they want to break through to more clarity, more visibility, and more profitability. I help my clients connect the dots between creating an unforgettable brand and a solid bottom line, because there is a connection between the two. All this talk about having a brand, building a brand, you need a brand, brand. There's more to it. And especially if you have a product or service, if you are in business, that includes if you are an author, if you have a book, if you speak, if you have an app, if you're looking to do any of those things, then you need to understand the importance of having a brand, and not only building a brand, of a brand, curating a brand, and your bottom line. You should be able to monetize that brand. So that is what I really tend to focus on. And what I want to talk about now is how to get to the money this month, April, because we are in April, y'all. If you haven't noticed, it is April. It is now April 2nd. Second quarter of 2019. I don't know about any of you. That's really kind of wild that it is April, fourth month of the year, second quarter of the year already, but it is, okay? Now, before I go any further, I am wearing an earpiece. Let me know if you can hear me or if you cannot hear me. I don't want to do this whole live stream and there's a problem with audio. So those of you on Facebook, I'm actually not using an earpiece there, so you shouldn't have a problem hearing or seeing me. But if you do, let me know. Uh, Drop it in the comments. Those of you on Instagram, Periscope, let me know if you cannot hear me. Okay, I would appreciate that. All right, so I'm not seeing anything, or not seeing that you guys cannot hear me. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. Just wanted to double check. Um, so there's obviously a lot of ways that we can make money. Okay, plenty of ways that you can make money, plenty of ways that I can make money. Some of you have jobs, some of you have both a job and a side hustle. I totally understand. Some of you have a job and two or more side hustles. There's a number of ways to make money. I want to deal with somewhat some basic things that have a lot to do with our mindset and how we think about money and the skills it takes to generate money. And so, one thing I want to address, one thing I really want to highlight, because I see this a lot. I see this, I mean, from family to friends to clients to colleagues to former colleagues. I've seen it among all those people, all those groups. Don't discount what comes easy to you. Do not discount, do not take for granted anything just because it comes easy to you. Because often that very thing that you are discounting, it's monetizable. You could make money from it. And some of you are making money from your skills, from things that you do very well. Some of you could be making more money though. And it's because of the way you think about it, because it's easy to you. You don't really think much about it. You have been doing it for so long, it kind of comes naturally, whether that is cooking, whether it's writing, whether it's teaching, training, whether it's accounting, keeping someone's books, keeping a business's books, whatever it is, web design, photography, it could be a number of things that you do very well and that you do pretty easily. Like it doesn't require a lot of thought from you. It doesn't require a lot of you know complexity and major setup, because it's something that you know how to do. Maybe you've been doing it for quite some time, and so you tend to think, some of you tend to think, well, that's no big deal, so I'm gonna do, either I'm gonna do that for free, or just gonna slap a price on it. And the problem with that, now that's not a problem if that is not how you make your money. If you really do that thing, whatever it is, as a hobby, if it's something that you do purely out of enjoyment, and you're not looking to make money from it, you don't care whether you make money from it, well then I'm not really talking to you. That is a different story. I'm talking to people who are looking to make money from their unique skill set. I'm talking to people who know how to do something, and they are looking to generate revenue from it. Maybe you already are generating revenue from it. And whether it's from your actual job, whether it's from a business, whether it's from both, what you need to understand is, just because you are good at this thing, just because it may come easy to you, it doesn't come easy to other people. And there are definitely people out there. I'm pretty sure, without even knowing for sure what you do, if you do any of the things I just mentioned, for example, There is definitely a market for that. There is a market for really, really good cooks. There is a market for really good photographers. There is a market for really good web designers, really good accountants, really good consultants and coaches. There is a market for that, and a market that will pay you handsomely. So don't fall into the trap of thinking because it's easy to you that it's not as important, that it doesn't really matter, that you really shouldn't be charging much if anything for it because it comes easy to you. I hear that a lot from women, and in particular women who are very good cooks. Now it's not to say, please don't take that the wrong way. Don't think that I'm saying that only women cook. I'm not saying that men don't cook. That this is not, it's not like that. I'm just using an example because this is my experience, and it's something that I have experienced more with women. That women, some women, not saying all, I'm qualifying this, you guys, that some women who really cook well kind of take that for granted. And I've heard them often say, well, it's just, they'll put just in front of what they're going to say as a way, and sometimes we don't realize this, that this is why, words, language is very powerful. Well, it's just a cake. I'm just a mom. I'm just a working woman. I just whipped up a peach cobbler. Like, it's really no big deal. It may not be a big deal to you, but it's a big deal to someone else. It's a big deal to someone who really appreciates good food like me. Okay? And a number of other people. And so if that is something you want to make money from, if you want to create a business surrounding food, surrounding cooking, or if you do have a business, maybe you have a restaurant, maybe you do catering, maybe you have a food truck, whatever it is you either currently do or you're looking to do that has to do with food, don't discount that because it comes easy for you. No, you have to take into account really the value of what you have to offer. You have to understand, and especially if you're in business or you want to be in business, you have to understand the difference between cost and value. There is a cost for a lot of things, and then there's the value. Okay, is that making sense? Let me see. Let me check over here, see if I have any comments or questions right quick over on Instagram and Periscope. Okay. Again, as a reminder, please share this out. You guys, those of you on Facebook, share this out. Share this out. Because I want other people to get in on this. So don't keep this all to yourself. So, kind of segueing into the second point I want to make. You don't want to discount your services, or it could be a product, whatever it is you do that you do well, and it may come easy to you. A big reason you don't want to discount that is the time that goes into it, the time that often goes into it. Now, again, using the example, let's say, of a cook. If you are a really, really good cook, hey Tina, hello, hello, hello. If you are a really, really good cook, you may be able to whip up a cake with no problem. Like, you may be able to make a cake, and I know, it takes a certain amount of time to make any cake. Now, of course, depending on the cake, it could be a more involved cake. It could be a bigger cake. I mean, obviously, if you're making a wedding cake, that's a little different than if you're making, just a little pound cake maybe for your family. So, there's levels to this. But the bottom line is, because of you being a really good baker, because of you being really good at cooking, you may be able to make a cake, say, in an hour, versus someone else who's not so good and maybe following a recipe and yada yada yada, and it may take them an hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay. And so you have to look at the amount of time that goes into something. Even that shorter period of time that it may take you, it's still time. It's still your very precious time. And that's time that you cannot get back. Time is also very critical in terms of business and in terms of getting to the money. Because so often, especially with service providers, this comes into play as well with people with products, but it tends to be a bit easier to navigate when you have a product because you have this physical product. You know how much uh, costs to make the product, to get the product, to manufacture the product, or what have you. It's not always as clear with a service. And so what I run into, what I see people doing and making the mistake of doing, especially service providers, is discounting the time that they put into something. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Give you an example. I have natural hair, and from time to time, I will get twists in my hair. Some of you know about this. My naturalistas out there, you know all about this and some of these terms and everything. So I have gotten kinky twists before. I've also gotten locks before. I am planning to get one or the other within the next few weeks. God willing. But I've gotten and my cousin usually does my twists. I have a cousin in Fort Worth. Shout out to Miss Jasmine Stevenson. She is wonderful. But she usually does my twists. Now, I have had a few other people do twists, braids, locks here in Houston and, wherever. And so one person who did some locks for me, actually some faux locks, she and granted, she's someone I know. Well, no, let me back up. I know her through someone else, and actually a family member. Okay, I didn't know her, but a cousin of ours knows her, and so she was referred to us, and so she gave me a hookup, kind of because of that family connection. And she doesn't do hair professionally. She knows how to do it. So it's one of those situations. I went to her home, and so I'm telling you that for a reason, because I mean sometimes that also plays a role in what someone charges. I mean it is kind of different if you're doing services like that out of your home versus being in a salon. Some people really don't care. They just want their hair done. Others, that they're not willing to maybe pay as much because they're in someone's home versus an actual salon. So okay, I get that. But this young lady who is really good at what she does, she did some really good locks for me, faux locks for me. Um, she charged me 50 bucks. 50 bucks. And those of you who may not be familiar with that hairstyle, it's kind of labor intensive. Even when you know what you're doing, even when you're good, and especially if it's just you, if we're not talking 2-3 people working on your hair at once, which really with faux locks, it doesn't really take that. It's not as involved as, say the micro braids and all that. But it's still kind of labor intensive. I mean, on average, you're looking at anywhere usually from about 3 to 5 hours. Okay. And it took her about 4.5 hours. And so I want you guys to think about this. And although I'm not saying her name or any of that, but I even had a conversation with her about this, about how much she charged. Now I gave her more than what she charged me. I gave her a nice tip. But I really want you guys to get this, because that particular service, faux locks, um, and I'm just basing it on what I see here in the Houston area, in the Dallas Fort Worth area where I'm originally from. I've seen it some in Atlanta. I mean, so, depending on where you are, it may be a different price. But based on those places, on average, that is a service that usually runs anywhere from about $130 to $300. Now, 300 is on the high end, at least in my experience. From what I've seen for faux locks, that's kind of at the top. Now, I'm sure there's some people that charge more than that, but just based on what I've seen, that's kind of the range, about 130 to 300. And really more on average, especially in the Houston area, in Texas, I see anywhere from about 130 to about 175. That's what I see for that particular service. And so again, this young lady charged me $50. And part of that is, I really think she underestimated the amount of time it took, because she had done it before, and I think she just, well, I really know, she told me, she wasn't really paying attention to how much time it took, because she had pretty much mostly just did this for friends and family. So, while she was doing their hair, they were laughing, talking, maybe at times enjoying some drinks, and not really paying attention to the amount of time it took, because she initially told me it was only going to take, I think like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It took 4.5 hours. So that was one thing. She underestimated the time, but she also, I think, she did something that a lot of service providers do. One that's kind of take for granted what you do. And because you're not doing it professionally, even though some of you do these things professionally, but some others, it may be something that you do on the side. It is something that you know how to do. Some of you who have gotten into photography, you don't do photography professionally. You may enjoy photography, but you're kicking around turning it into a business. Or maybe you have already started that process. Maybe you have started charging people to take pictures as a side hustle. Well, you still may not really register the amount of time that takes. And so, like her, this took 4.5 hours that she was working on my hair. And I mean, the finished product, the result, was very good. My hair looked very nice. I got lots of compliments on my hair. It looked like it had been done in a salon. Here's the thing, and what I pointed out to her, while I certainly, because I always appreciate a bargain. People who know me, people who are close to me, they know I appreciate a bargain. I'm a bit frugal, okay? So I love a bargain. I really like nice things. I love designer labels and all that, but I like getting them on sale. I do like a bargain. So I definitely appreciated the hookup, so to speak, but that was too much of a hookup. That was almost extreme, because a discount, and the interesting thing is, I told y'all before, my cousin usually does my twists, and she even charges me more than $50, and that's my cousin. that is my first cousin. She charges me more than that. Still a discount, still very much a discount, but it takes time. And so you really have to look at the amount of time you're taking, and sometimes you have to break that down into hourly. So $50 for 4.5 hours, that's roughly $10 to $12 an hour. $10 to $12 an hour, which in Texas is just a little more than minimum wage. And if minimum wage gets increased, I mean, to where people want it to be, that will be less at some point than minimum wage. And so I want you to really think about that, and think about what you're doing what it means to your customer or your potential customer. Because if you're just talking about hair, just use that as an example. Oh my God. People, especially women of color, but really women in general, will pay a lot for their hair. They will pay a lot for their hair to really look good. And especially if you are talking about a protective style, something that will protect your hair. Those of us with natural hair, we know all about this. So if you're talking about a protective style and something that does not require you to be messing with your hair and have to do anything to your hair for a month, 2 months, maybe even 3 months, you have to ask, what is that really worth? Again, we're talking value, not just the cost. What is that worth to someone? What is that worth, especially to a busy working woman? What is that worth to a busy working mother? What is that worth to a busy entrepreneur? Ask yourself those questions, and then you charge and set your prices. But don't make the mistake of just discounting what you do because you're good at it, because it may be easier for you than it is for someone else. Maybe it's super easy for you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The question is, what result are you able to create for your customer, for your client? And what is that result worth to them? Think about that. Let me say that again. What is the result that you can create worth to your customer? All right. So really evaluating that, asking yourself that question, and stopping the discounting of your services, of whatever it is you do. Stop taking it for granted. That can play a big role in you increasing your revenue, in you increasing your income. All right. So I wanted to share that with you guys, especially with it being April and National Financial Awareness Month. We got to get to this money, especially if you are in business. It is time out for playing around. It's time out for not marketing your business, not going all in terms of marketing your business and sharing what you have to offer. And it is definitely past time to be discounting your products and services because, well, it's just what I do. No. Stop the discounting. Understand the difference between cost and value, and understand the value of your time. You guys, you cannot get time back, okay? I know you know that, but you may need a reminder of that. You cannot get your time back. The 20 minutes you stand in the line at Walmart, at Kroger, at HEB, that's gone. Can't get it back. Cannot get it back. That's why you may want to consider getting your groceries delivered or doing the pickup with groceries. That is a wonderful thing. I'm not saying I never go into the store, but I don't go into the store as much as I used to because I have better ways to spend my time. And so you want to think about the element of time. Time moves in one direction. One direction. No one has come up with a way to change that. It moves in one direction. So whether you are a photographer, whether you are a web designer, whether you are a consultant, whether you are an accountant, whether you, whatever widget you sell, it requires some time on your part. And so do not overlook that in terms of your pricing and you assigning a price to that product or to that service. All right. So hopefully that has been helpful to you. If you guys want to get more of these great tips and in particular about generating more revenue generating activities, adopting a better and more wealth building mindset, in particular during the month of April, then you want to join my VDP list, my VDP Facebook Messenger list. And VDP stands for Very Dope Person, because everyone says VIP, very important, and it's not to say that you're not important, but I think you are dope, that you are very dope. See, that's a step up, that's a step above important. See, so if you are a very dope person, and especially a very dope person with a business, wants to have a business, has a product or service, looking to build a brand, looking to do some amazing things in 2019 and beyond, then you want to be on this list, because I share some awesome content, tips, tricks, strategies, pop-up trainings, discounts, different things with this particular list. And this is a part of my overall online list. So on Facebook, there is a link in the description that you can go to join that list. Another way you can join is to, and if you're on Instagram, you can go to the link in my bio, to join the Very Dope Person Facebook Messenger list. You can also go to my Facebook business page, Rachel Wilson Thibodeau Presents the Swaganista Guide. Yes, I know it's a mouthful. If you're on Facebook, there's a link to that on my personal profile. So you could just go to my personal profile and just link to my business page, and then just shoot a message. Just message my business page. That will also get you on this list. Specific link though, and this is the link that is in the description on Facebook, you can go to www.bit.ly, that's bit.ly, bit.ly /connect RWT, bit.ly /connect RWT. Again, bit.ly, this is all lowercase, because with bit.ly links, that matters, all lowercase. So bit.ly /CONNECTRWT. So that specific link will take you to the Facebook Messenger list, my Very Dope Person Facebook Messenger list. All right. Let me see. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Any comments, especially on Facebook. Sometimes I don't see comments until later. So let me see. Okay, I don't think I see any. And again, you guys, very much appreciate if you share this out. Something else just quickly that inspired me to do this and some other things, and just reminded me of the need for certain things. I'm sure some of you have heard this stat that was statistic that was shared recently. It was actually shared by Andrew. His last name is either Wang or Yang. I apologize. I forget which. He's actually a presidential candidate, and he did an interview on The Breakfast Club. Some of you know about The Breakfast Club, national radio show. And it seems several of the presidential candidates have visited The Breakfast Club. But he shared a statistic recently about the net worth of Black people, and the projected net worth of Black people by 2053, I believe the year is 2053. Our net worth as a people is expected to be 0. Now, I still kind of question that. I have not really dived deep into where that stat came from. I think it came from The Guardian, but I have to double check. but it is a real stat, and it's frightening, frankly. I don't know about any of you, but that is frightening. And I do see how that could possibly happen. I'm not convinced necessarily that it's, we're on that path, but I do see how it could possibly happen. And so, while the information I've shared, I mean, it can be beneficial to anyone, I especially want my brothers and sisters of the African diaspora and of the global majority to really get this and to understand the importance, the critical nature of us being able to build wealth, of us being able to create wealth. And that doesn't have to be as an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I talk about that a lot. A number of you are entrepreneurs. I'm not one of those entrepreneurs, though, who thinks, who looks down and judge people who are not entrepreneurs. No, I worked in corporate America over 16, 17 years. I'm grateful for my corporate experience. I just went in a different direction. I believed very much that God had something else for me. I still don't say never, never say never. You could, you might see me take a job again at some point. It would have to be a hell of a job, but I don't block that out completely. So this is not all about starting your business or running your own business. It is about understanding the need for multiple streams of income. It's about having options. So even if you have a 9 to 5, because some people love their jobs, everybody doesn't hate their jobs. And so if you have a job that you love and you believe you're paid well and you believe that you're making a real difference, you're making an impact, and I mean, you love what you do, that is wonderful. I just want you to realize you may not want to rely on that one job for all of your income, because nothing is really secure. Even the jobs that seem secure, that some people thought were secure, how many people have thought government jobs are super secure, and then you have a government shutdown, and then you're out of work for a month or so. Nothing is really secure. So I really want to get across, and I will continue to talk about this. Really want to get across, whether you are working a 9 to 5, whether you are in business full time, understand that all of us have skills, all of us have something that we can offer that is monetizable, and usually in more than one way. It's monetizable. There are usually different ways, multiple ways that we can generate income that we're not doing, that we're not taking advantage of. So there you go. All right, guys. That is it for me for now. If you want to know more about me, what I do, you can visit swagstrategy.com. Understand swagstrategy.com is going through a bit of transition. And so I'm excited about that. Going to be making some updates and what have you. But you can certainly check it out. You can connect with me also over on Instagram, Rachel.theswagstrategist. If you're not already following me there, I invite you to do so. Rachel.theswagstrategist. On Facebook, Rachel W. Thibodeau. And then, of course, I mentioned my business page earlier. I also have a Facebook group. I have a private Facebook group for entrepreneurs, influencers, brand builders, those looking to learn more about creating great brands, monetizable brands. You can check that out at Brand Sale Profit. Brand Sale Profit is my Facebook group. That is also the title of my second book, Brand Sale Profit. Brand Sale Profit. Brand Sale Profit. And you can learn more about the book at swagstrategy.com/BSP book. Swag Strategy, swagstrategy.com/B as in boy, S as in Sam, P as in profit, book. All right. And you can also check it out on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. Okay. All right, cool. Let's see. Okay. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day, depending on when you're seeing this, the rest of your evening. Take care and take action.